There's some new way of living where it is all about feeling what you want to create. So we can check in with ourselves every day and ask ourselves, am I feeling right now the way that I wish to create whatever it is that I want to create? So I'd like for you all to take a moment right now and ask yourselves, what do I wish to create? What this week coming, this month, August, do I wish to create? And write it down. And there could be 1, 2, or 3 things. What do I wish to create? Just close your eyes and ask yourself, what do I wish to create? Is what's happening in my life, is this what I want to create? And if it's not, choose 1 or 2 things that you want to create. We know what we know from our past. That's what we've created. However, when we think about the future, that is not yet known to us unless we feel it as it was already true. So we hang on to that old relationship, that old job, because that's what we're spending our time knowing. Because we're not spending enough time asking, what do I wish to create now? And how would it feel? Second question, how would it feel if it was already true? First question is, what do I wish to create? Second question is, how would I feel if that were already true? So now our past is what we know in the physical form because it happened. And now we're creating a new feeling for what is to happen physically in the future. As we ask these questions, what do I wish to create? And then how would I feel if that was already created? In our minds, in our bodies, we can create that vibration, that feeling of whatever that would be, so that eventually we will attract that into our lives, because that's what we're vibrating. And we don't get what we want, we get what we are. We get what we are feeling, because that's a vibration. And we attract into our lives everything that is what we are vibrating at. So if I believe that it is difficult for me to find a new job that I enjoy, that's what I'm feeling, that's what I'm vibrating, that's what the universe is going to show me, all the reasons for it to be impossible to find something I really enjoy. But if I'm so tired of myself, and that's why sometimes a lot of shit happens in our life that is not serving us, because it's like a slingshot. We have to go backwards sometimes, so many times, so that we have this fire inside that's like, I'm tired of this life. But I wasn't tired enough last year, because I had to make more of that Strengthen, Heal, Imagine, Thrive juice, so that then I can transform it, go even faster forward. And that's why I think, at least I've noticed, the more I be not what I want in my life, I start to get angry and frustrated at myself, and then I'm more motivated to do something to get off my ass. So that's why we have to sometimes sulk longer, because a year or 2 ago, it wasn't that obvious how miserable I was being that way. So everything is a blessing, and we can start to say more, you know what, maybe I'm just not imagining enough. Maybe before I go to sleep, because that's when I go into theta and I can shift my subconscious mind, maybe what can happen now is I just spend more time imagining what I want to create. And it's not enough to just imagine what you want to create. How would I feel in my body if that was already true? So how would I feel if I had my fitness sanctuary oasis in Miami, where people could 24/7 be having peace and meditative, and come take my classes? How would it feel if I was in that relationship where there's a man that wants to be equally time with me, that is exactly what I want? How would I feel if I was healed of my childhood traumas? How would I feel if I wasn't defining myself right now based on my past? How would I feel if I didn't have that shoulder tension anymore? And I believe that sometimes we also hang on to the past because we're so scared about what would happen in the future if everything would work out. Because what are we fed all day? We're fed all day what doesn't work out. Depending on how much you watch the news over how many years, we're programmed to believe that the news is crap. Wars, battles, all those things. How much of it are we recreating every day? Because that's what we're watching. So it's time for somebody to create the news of all the miracles that happened, of all the people that went into cancer remission. It's time for us to investigate the remission that happened, that 1% of whatever somebody did, and make that up, blow that up. That healing at the speed of light that that person had, that unexplainable, no more cancer the next night, that she says, nope, I'm not gonna die, I'm not gonna leave my children. She has stage 4 cancer in her throat. Next day, she's like, God, you have to take care of me, God. Please, I don't wanna die. And she wakes up and she doesn't have cancer because she had no other choice than to believe fully in every cell of her body that she has to heal because she's not gonna leave her children. People have done this. So what if the news was covered with positive news? Inspiring things that people have done, philanthropic donations, people doing things because loving kindness. And that's what we saw, and we would have to really look for the news that was negative, quote unquote negative. What if that was the life that we live in the world that we live? So the more we entertain whatever that is that you want to create, and I recommend doing this before you go to sleep in your bed, while you're doing the breathing, the E3 breath, and when you wake up in the morning, what is it that I wish to create? What kind of a day do I wish to have? And you can write your list, keep your list of the top 3 things that you want to create, and then you can have it next to your bed, and you can keep on resetting yourself to what you want to create, the feeling of what you want to create, and then what would it feel like if that was already true? And how would I have to think for that to be true? How would my posture be different if that was true? And the more you do this, the more you're creating that magnetic field of that possibility, and the universe is going to show you all the reasons to keep believing that that's true, because that's basically what we're doing. This is like life-changing. This is what I feel has been missing with mindset work, hypnotherapy, Psych-K, EFT. Our whole body is our subconscious mind. So our whole body has to feel to create that permanent shift in our life. It's not enough to do energy healing, because the minute that person gets off the table and they go back to those negative thoughts, their field will shift immediately, like at the speed of light. So we have to work with reprogramming the conscious mind with the subconscious mind, which is in the body. And that's what we're gonna do today. It's actually really simple. That's why we say healing at the speed of light. What I'm getting called to do is to empower people, because who's done that? You know, it's like, so let's do something new. Well, the new thing is actually to empower people with the least amount of information that is practical for them. So we're going to create major healing with minor effort. Let's all say that. Major healing, minor effort. And let's say, I heal at the speed of light. It's my nature to heal at the speed of light. And let's just close our eyes and let's feel that way. Major healing, minor effort. I heal at the speed of light. It is my nature to heal at the speed of light. Jesus did walk on water. Jesus did all those wonderful things. And Jesus used to tell everybody, I am the Son of God. That's what he would tell everybody, okay? So I look at him as like, wow, this guy was passionate. Look what he created. Nelson Mandela, look what he created. So when we look at the people that have made a lot of impact on the world, we can get inspired. Maybe I just need to be more asking myself, what am I vibrating at? How am I feeling right now? Am I embodying the mommy that I want to be for my kids? Right now, am I embodying the professional that I wish to be, the entrepreneur for my future business? Right now, am I showing up as the wife, as the girlfriend, as the friend, the daughter that I wish to be, the author? How would I walk if I was already a published author, #1 New York best time seller, and the other one, what's the other one? USA Today. So can you commit this week to one of those on your paper that you're going to embody her? Can you commit to that? What goal? Give me a goal here. Let's use some of it. Baseball player. So you wake up in the morning. How would I wake up in the morning if I was already making whatever millions as a professional baseball player? And then you get a picture of yourself in your uniform and you have it in your room. You have it on your vision board. What's on your list?
Self-love.
So self-love. I love myself. I'm enough. What would that feel like when I wake up in the morning and I'm enough? And I actually don't have to accomplish anything else. I could just be myself, and I'm at peace with that. What would that feel like if I felt worthy? If I don't have to overgive, or I don't have to get it from someone else? What would that feel like? And this position is a position of greatness. We're gonna have our arms over our head. If it's comfortable for you, we're gonna lay down to do this. And we have something called fascia. It covers our muscles, and they say that we hold our emotions in our fascial system. So if my mom yelled at me when I was 5 years old, 4 years old, let's just say I did something naughty, bad, and she said, "Be quiet, stop that!" So children, we tense up our diaphragm. So I discovered in my teens, I held a lot. And then so I had these things emotions that I was holding, and then all the guilt and shame that went along with that. So here I am walking with this all the time, not even knowing, and then we wonder why it's hard for me to have intimacy. So this work is about, I'm gonna position my body in the E3 posture, and I'm gonna do a body scan, and that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna guide you in this process of self-discovery. And we're just gonna say yes to being open to listening to the wisdom of our bodies that are mostly made of energy, so we're aware of that. And we're gonna be grateful for whatever comes up. And your body's actually gonna just, like steam off of boiling water, your body is gonna release itself of whatever doesn't serve you. Because inside you, you have something called healing hormone. If you get a cut, you don't have to tell your body, "Can you please close this up for me?" Your body's constantly healing itself. Your body knows how to heal you. You don't have to consciously manifest that, actually. It's about letting go. That's what it's about. It's about surrender and allowing the grace of the divinity, the God essence, the universe that you are, allow that to heal you. We're being healed. There's this beautiful force that created us that is a kind and loving force. And the reason why it has gotten so terrible on the planet is because we're all being called to get more spiritual. And look, that's what's happening. Our relationships with our old self is not working. Hence, the divorce happens, because that I cannot have a functional relationship with my spouse because the one with me is not working. That's why I'm getting a divorce. It's not because it's not working with him. It's because within you, the male and female energy is not vibing at your highest frequency, and that's why you can't sustain the marriage. Does this make sense? So we don't blame it on him. We say, okay, I'm attracting what I am. What can I learn from that? There's 3 fingers pointing back at me. And this is where we can strengthen, heal, imagine something new, and thrive from whatever's not working. It's not just our marriage. Our marriage tends to be the most intimate relationship with ourself through another person, right? And our kids. So it's really about, okay, let me check out, how are all my relationships in my life? How are all of them? They're all a reflection of me. What can I learn from those relationships? So this is another one. Number 3 would be, how are my relationships in my life? And what can I learn from those relationships? And if there's any part of your life that you're not okay with, there's an opportunity to heal something. So for example, my mom, she yelled at me. So it's not about blaming yourself for attracting that. It's about, how can I thrive from that suffering? There's a lot of suffering going on right now. We're seeing it more than ever. Our Mother Earth. So we need to wake up and say, okay, well, what can I learn from that? Maybe I should recycle. How can I contribute to creating more harmony in my life? Instead of just perpetuating that there's war in Iraq or wherever. Because if I keep watching that war, I'm not helping the peace happen. Knowing these concepts, we can catch ourselves. This is a different way of living where you're choosing to be, I call it being soulfish instead of selfish. Soulfish is saying, yes, I'm gonna honor my heart and soul. I'm gonna honor that I have wisdom in my body, and I'm gonna listen to that wisdom. And I'm gonna make time in my life to connect to my E3 breath. The E3 breath is gonna take you immediately to your soul connection. I'm gonna teach you that tonight. It's so simple. So if you wanna love yourself, do E3 breath every day. If you wanna feel worthy, you're gonna amp up your chi. You're gonna make yourself a superstar. We're gonna do it tonight, okay? Are you ready for this? Yeah. Healing at the speed of light, here we go.